The lights in the auditorium dimmed just as the moderator stepped aside, leaving my sister Brooke alone in the circle of brilliant white spotlight on the TED stage in New York. She stood there poised and radiant in a tailored navy suit that hugged her frame perfectly. Her dark hair swept into an elegant chignon, her smile wide and infectious as the audience erupted in applause before she even spoke. From thousands of miles away in my cramped lab at UC Berkeley, I watched on my laptop screen, the glow casting harsh shadows across stacks of printouts, coffee-stained notebooks, and a whiteboard scrawled with the equations that had consumed 4 years of my life. It was past midnight, the kind of hour when the world outside felt distant and unreal. My hands trembled slightly as I clutched the edge of my desk. Brooke's voice came through the speakers, smooth and passionate, carrying that unmistakable California lilt we'd both inherited, but which she wielded like a weapon. Today, I'm here to share a discovery that could rewrite the future of Alzheimer's disease, she began, her eyes sparkling with manufactured sincerity. A protein inhibitor that halts the amyloid plaque buildup ravaging memories and lives. She moved with effortless grace, gesturing toward invisible slides as she transformed my dense research into poetic metaphors, the brain as a symphony out of tune, her compound as the conductor restoring harmony. She wove in a heartbreaking anecdote about our grandmother's slow descent into dementia, the vacant stares, the forgotten names, the way she once mistook Brooke for a stranger at Thanksgiving. Only I knew the truth of those nights. I was the one who sat by Grandma's bedside during her final months while Brooke jetted off to Europe for a semester abroad chasing experiences. The story landed perfectly. The audience leaned forward, captivated. When she finished, the standing ovation thundered through the speakers. Comments flooded the live stream. Incredible woman changing the world. Such confidence and brilliance. My phone buzzed.
Mom.
I answered with a voice that sounded like gravel. Claire. Honey, did you catch your sister's talk? She's magnificent. A true star. Your father and I are in tears. Her pride was electric, almost feverish. You have such talent too. In your own way. But Brooke.
She has that spark.
Why don't you try being a bit more like her? The words stung like they always had. From childhood in our suburban Sacramento home, Brooke was the sun, outgoing, quick with a laugh, the one who charmed teachers and neighbors. I was the quiet moon, buried in books and experiments. My science fair projects dismissed as adorable hobbies, while Brooke took credit for the presentation flair. That night after the TED Talk, Brooke video called from her swanky hotel suite, champagne glass in hand, cheeks flushed with triumph that didn't belong to her. You watched,
right?
The response is insane. Pharma companies are already reaching out. Her smile faltered when she saw my expression. Claire.
Don't be like that.
This isn't stealing. It's smart collaboration.
You hate the spotlight.
I have the voice the world needs to hear this. We're helping millions together. Her rationalizations twisted like knives. She painted herself as the selfless hero protecting me from interviews and politics, all while claiming my soul's work. I sat in silence after she hung up, staring at the whiteboard where the final elegant solution to the protein folding paradox stared back. She knew the polished result, but not the 6 months of hell unraveling the anomalous data points that defied every model. Those sleepless nights replayed in my mind, the moment the quantum quirk clicked into place after endless recalculations. In the weeks that followed, Brooke's star exploded. Time magazine cover, the woman who could end Alzheimer's. Morning shows where she charmed hosts with simplified explanations of my data. Glossy ads positioning her as medicine's visionary. Each appearance felt like erasure. I retreated deeper into the lab, the only space still mine. Calls from parents grew unbearable. After her 60 Minutes feature, Mom gushed about the new house Brooke bought them. She's so generous after all we've done for her. The pattern echoed our past, the 8th grade science fair, where I built the intricate solar system model alone. Only for Brooke to swoop in at presentation time, charming judges with jokes and claiming we won first prize. Parents beamed. The perfect team, brains and personality. They never saw the theft. Only the pleasant narrative. My silence stemmed from tangled loyalties, protecting them from the family fracture. Fearing a scandal would delay treatments for patients. And sheer paralysis from the intimacy of the betrayal. Brooke wasn't just a thief. She was my twin. Sharing DNA. Memories.
Face.
Yet she had reframed my erasure as noble sacrifice. In quiet moments tracing my original lab notebooks, I found the anomaly again, those contradictory Phase 2 results that nearly broke me. The footnote in her paper glossed it over elegantly. But only I knew the brutal journey. That hidden complexity became my secret weapon. As Brooke's fame swelled, a cold resolve crystallized. Truth demanded reckoning. Especially as whispers of Nobel nomination grew. The Nobel shortlist announcement hit like a seismic wave. I was alone in the lab when the news ticker flashed Dr. Brooke Bennett for revolutionary work on amyloid inhibition. My breath caught. The highest honor in science, reserved for giants like Curie and Banting, now dangled before fraud. All my rationalizations crumbled. Protecting family, avoiding scandal, preserving research integrity, none outweigh defiling scientific truth. I couldn't let her name be etched eternally on lies. Public confrontation was out. Brooke thrived in media chaos, casting me as the jealous twin. Instead, my analytical mind crafted a subtler path. I researched the Nobel physiology or medicine committee members meticulously over 3 intense days.
Dr.
Harlan Whitaker from Stanford stood out, a rigorous, no-nonsense biochemist disdainful of flashy press release science, valuing raw data above charisma. He was my target. I drafted the email with surgical precision. Polite, academic, posing as curious colleague. Subject: Inquiry on Phase 2 anomalies in Dr. Bennett's amyloid inhibitor paper. In it, I highlighted the paradoxical downregulation in appendix data under specific stress conditions, asking for elaboration on the mechanism, details only the true discoverer could address. Sent anonymously through academic channels to reach Whitaker. Waiting became torture. Brooke's trajectory continued. Book deals. Keynote speeches. Parents ecstatic calls planning Stockholm trips. I flew there quietly, booking a modest room away from the family hotel. Wandering snow-dusted streets, stealing myself. The awards ceremony unfolded in opulent splendor at Stockholm Concert Hall. From the anonymous audience seat, I watched Brooke glide on stage in a shimmering gown, delivering a speech of false humility, thanking her brilliant sister Claire for support. Parents wept with joy in the front rows. I felt only icy determination. The true test came next day at the live global press conference. Brooke sat confidently among co-laureates, fielding easy personal questions with practiced charm. Then Whitaker rose at the microphone, British accent crisp and commanding.
Dr. Bennett.
Congratulations again. One point of curiosity for the community: the appendix data on Phase 2 folding simulations showing unexpected kinase behavior under isomeric stress. Your footnote is brief. Could you elaborate the precise hypothesis resolving this central paradox? The room hushed. On the monitor, Brooke's smile froze, a flicker of panic in her eyes. She stalled with jargon salad, fluctuating cascades, enzymatic loops, impressive to laypeople but gibberish to experts. Whitaker pressed gently, specifics on phosphorylation violating a key theorem. Brooke stammered, eyes darting desperately to parents. Silence thickened with realization. The moderator intervened hastily. But damage was irreversible. I slipped out unnoticed into the cold air, snowflakes falling like quiet vindication. The seed was planted. Digital firestorm ignited rapidly. Headlines shifted from celebration to scrutiny. Nobel laureate stumbles on technical query. Scientists worldwide dissected the paper. Her evasive response. And the anomaly. Consensus. Ignorance of the work's core brilliance. Social media amplified expert takes, calling it a massive red flag. That evening, frantic knocking at my hotel door. The family burst in, parents pale and frantic. Brooke wild-eyed with fury. "How could you?" she screamed. "You fed him that question. You sabotaged me out of jealousy." Mom pleaded through tears. "Fix this.
Claire.
Say it was joint work. Protect the family name." Their faces reflected years of favoritism, dismissing my focus as social failure. Elevating Brooke's charm. I met their gaze coldly. "The shame is yours. You've diminished me lifelong because her success was easier to celebrate." This was never jealousy. It was truth. Ask them to leave permanently. Loyalty to family died. Allegiance belonged to integrity and patience. The Nobel Foundation's investigation was thorough and private. I presented original dated notebooks, frantic handwriting, failed trials, coffee stains, tear marks. The 6-month anomaly saga. Evidence formed an undeniable diary of discovery. 3 months later, they announced retraction for fraud. Unprecedented re-award to sole originator Dr. Claire Bennett. Brooke's career imploded publicly. Parents' reputations shattered alongside. The scandal dominated headlines. But I focused forward. A year later, I returned to Stockholm's Grand Hall. This time at the podium, gold medal heavy in hand. I looked out at assembled dignitaries and minds. No family present. Contact severed. I used prize funds to found the Eleanor Bennett Foundation for Ethical Science, honoring our grandmother, supporting unsung honest researchers. Speech reflected on the journey, vindication not in downfall or medal. But the quiet lab moment data aligned after struggle. The spotlight I never sought became a platform against lies. Truth prevailed not through noise but precision. In reflection, the betrayals' echoes linger. Brooke's charisma masked emptiness. Family's preference revealed shallow values. My method, one precise question, exposed what accusations never could. Preserving research dignity. Patients now access real treatments untainted by scandal. Yet the moral haunts. How often do quiet truths yield to flashy narratives? In science, family, society, integrity demands defense, even against blood. What price do we pay silencing our voice? The anomaly resolved in my lab years ago. Family fractures may never. But truth stands eternal. A quiet victory amid the storm.